Hello, my friends. I love spending this time with you. And so continues the teachings, the karmic teachings of becoming. And the lesson that I would like to focus on that is a part of becoming is cultivating and sharing your gifts. For some folks, this can be very intimidating because the idea of gifts is somehow that you have to be larger than life or it has to be superstar perfect. And that is such a lie. And it's a lie that is easy to fall into because let's face it, in this culture anymore with modern technology, pick an app, pick anything, and whatever you see and hear can be changed to look perfect or to look like anything at all that you want. So the idea of just being au naturel, being yourself as yourself, is perceived as being somehow crude or less than, and that is so far from the truth. Remember, there's only one you. There's been no one like you before, and there's going to be no one exactly like you after. So when you're talking about sharing your gifts, it's like, oh, what could I possibly do that somebody hasn't done before, can do it better? Well, I'll share with you two facts. Fact is, there will always be somebody who will be better than you and somebody who is, worse off than you. They don't do things as well as you do. That's a true fact, no matter where you are on the cycle of beginner to expert. Second true fact, as I said before, there's only one you. So whatever you present, how you present it, whatever you do, in the manner that you do it, no one else can replicate that. And by your sharing your gifts in a way that is just flows from you, allows for people to connect with you. The idea of not doing them perfectly allows for a feeling of humanity amongst us. Lord knows I'm not perfect. Those of you who are my friends, you know that's true. But there's nothing to be ashamed of. I said, well, Skyfire, I don't know. I don't feel like I have gifts. I don't feel like I have any talents. And just because you're not going to be presenting them on some sort of video or TV platform or whatever, doesn't make it any less. A very good way of discovering your gifts, your talents, is that what's really cool is that the way Creator has made us is that what we're drawn to, what we have an affinity for, more than likely some aspect of that you're going to be able to find an ability that stems from that. So it's not to say that when you first start something, you're going to be an expert. What would be the fun in that? But go ahead and follow the path. Think of your interests, whatever interests they are, and begin pursuing them. Not just to research or to read about being a foodie. That's the difference between looking at a picture of your favorite food versus eating it. When you have an interest, yes, sure, learn about it, but begin to try it out. Begin to try it out. One of the things that I've discovered recently, and you can find hidden abilities, hidden talents, is I have recently discovered paddleboarding. Go figure, fire sign, fire element, right? But I have managed to find a good balance in the water. There's such a serenity there, such inspiration that's there. And if I'd gone with my visions of myself, which is essentially being kind of klutzy, not athletic, and so on, I never would have tried that. And that's the other thing about beginning to discover your gifts. With all the love of my heart, I'm telling you now, you need to get over yourself. Just like I shared with me, I don't envision myself as being graceful. I'll never be a ballerina or athletic or muscular. And if I went with those self-images and self-limitations, although they are true to a degree, I would never have dared to try paddleboarding. So when you are looking at yourself, don't diminish yourself. You can say a truth. Again, I am not graceful to be a ballerina. I am not muscular. I'm not athletic. But because of my curiosity, my desire to experience what is it like out there, on a river or in a bay, it has opened a whole new world to me. And it showed me that some conclusions I made about myself were wrong. So please begin to do that. Just try it out. Just because you try something doesn't mean that you have to do it for the rest of your days. And if it is something that is a hobby or something like this, you don't have to go out spending a ton of money. You know, you can rent something. You know, if you want to try it out, you can go. Oh, and that's the other thing I'd like to mention. The benefits of beginning to cultivate your gifts is that it creates a point by which to interact with other people. And it could be as simple as a teacher or mentor, or a group that has your interest. And there would be people all along the spectrum. They could be novices, they could be people who've been doing it for a million years, there could be people who are mentors or teachers. But regardless, it opens the door. You begin to interact with other people and share their experiences. They begin to connect with you. You begin to see a whole different world that you hadn't before. And this should bring an excitement, versus just the daily grind. Yes, we all have our chores, we all have the work that we do that require that steadiness, but you don't want to be ground down to nothing. So when you have your gifts and then you begin to cultivate them, points of connection, friendships can grow. I've seen cases where people have started as a hobby or as a side business, and they ended up finding a life partner. So you never know where it's going to take you. But the idea is just allowing yourself to be you, getting beyond that self-consciousness and getting beyond that idea that somehow if you begin it, you can never let it go. If you do it, it has to be, like America's Got Talent quality sort of thing. Get rid of that. Remember that exploring your gifts, and you can call them talents or abilities, pick a label, I don't care, is a fantastic form of self-expression. And some things you'll be more interested in, and some abilities and gifts will be stronger than others. That's okay. Stop thinking that you have to be the achiever or everything has to be done to A standards. Do it to yours. Remember, if you're sharing your gifts and you're cultivating them, they are for a sense of enrichment, a sense of expression, a way of exploring the world in a manner that you don't do perhaps every day. And who knows? With this exploration, you might even discover a new way of not only living, but even maybe making a livelihood that you never would have suspected. And that's what I want to share with you. Part of becoming is learning to express yourself in natural ways. And what makes this so fun is that there's always something new to learn. There's always new people to meet. And when you step into your own space, things to think about, things to imagine, things to try. And the world is such a big and wonderful place. It can be a place that would love to discover you if you would allow it. And so, my friends, I just wanted to mention to you that if you find yourself where it could be a little difficult getting over being self-conscious or not too sure what you're about, please feel free to contact me, usually either through my website or through Instagram. And also, again, I want to thank those of you who have subscribed. And if you haven't, please do and come and join us. And it's wonderful. We are in the works for having 2 subscribed channels. One will be on meditation and other will be on mini lessons. And I'm so grateful to those of you who have given me your ideas, and I welcome more of them. So with this, please, I hope I've enticed you today. Part of the joy of you becoming, the joy of your beingness, is hanging loose, trying out new things, or if you already have a form of expression, whether it be art or speech or cooking or guiding others, whatever that thing is, go deeper, explore further. you're going to find there's more to you than you thought, and the world is more welcoming than you ever believed. And so with that, my friends, until we get the chance to be together again, Wanishi, thank you so much for sharing this time with me. Bright blessings to you and yours. Until we're together again.